The Fabelmans is a 2022 coming-of-age drama film directed by Steven Spielberg, who also co-wrote and produced it with Tony Kushner. The film is a semi-autobiographical story loosely based on Spielberg's adolescent young life in his first year as a filmmaker. Now, the plot of the story is very different. It's told through an original story of the fictional Sam Fabelman, a young aspiring filmmaker who kind of uses the power of film to tell his story and help him seek out the truth about his dysfunctional family and those around him. The movie stars Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, Seth Rogen, Gabriel LaBelle, and Judd Hirsch. From the moment this film is on screen, it's absolutely mind-blowing and brilliant up until the last shot. The movie is 151 minutes long. It had a budget of $40 million and grossed $45.6 million at the box office. It was released in November of 2022 and was nominated for 7 Oscars at the 95th Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress for Michelle Williams, Best Supporting Actor for Judd Hirsch. It also earned 11 nominations at the Critics' Choice Awards and 5 at the 80th Golden Globe Awards, winning Best Motion Picture Drama and Best Director. For Judd Hirsch to be in this film for the short amount of screen time and him to get an Oscar nomination is absolutely brilliant. Not only that, the film is depicted through the eyes of Sammy, and it starts in January of 1952 in Haddon Township, New Jersey. The Jewish couple kind of take their son to a movie, The Greatest Show on Earth, and he's just mesmerized by everything that's happening, and he recreates the scene that stuck with him in the film with little train models and cars. It's just fascinating. But the whole aspect of the dysfunctional family life is really, really there. And seeing Spielberg write about this, and being that it's a semi-autobiographical film, is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, there are parts where you think, like, it's not going to move forward. No, the drama is there. The acting is exceptionally beautiful. I mean, when you see Michelle Williams as Mitzi Fabelman, Sammy's encouraging mother and a skilled pianist, and then you see Spielberg's real-life mother, the spitting image is absolutely mind-blowing. The thing about the film is that it just grabs your attention, and Sammy just wants to make movies. That's his passion. It's an art form. Spielberg took the word art and turned it into an aspect of what film is. Filmmaking is art. I don't care what anybody says. People say filmmaking, it's not art. Oh, push that aside. You're not going to go anywhere with this. Well, you're wrong. Even Paul Dano's character of Bert Fabelman, Sammy's father and a computer engineer, is not really adamant about Sammy being a filmmaker, but his mother, is really, really encouraging. And not only that, he has 3 young sisters who are based on Spielberg's real life 3 sisters, and you have Seth Rogen as Benny, Bert's co-worker and best friend, who becomes a surrogate uncle to Sammy, or kind of in a way, but we know the truth between Mitzi and Benny and what's happening, and the way Spielberg put that in was actually interesting. Spielberg has had this story in mind for many years, if you've seen interviews and everything, but how he captures each moment is great. There are many, many things in this where it's just, okay, if you know filmmaking, if you're a filmmaker, if you're a director, you know what the editing mechanism is, the device. You know what a Bolex is. You know what happens with the 16 millimeter, 8 millimeters. You know how to cut. You know how to splice. You know how to use a flatbed. Every single minute detail about certain things and how photography is used and what he does with his friends and how he utilizes certain effects to get gunshots. It's just absolutely mind-blowing and brilliant how everything is done. And the cinematography by Janusz Kaminski is phenomenal. It just captures that essence, like, okay, here it is through the eyes of a young filmmaker wanting to make it in Hollywood. As the story progresses, and at the ending, where we kind of have Bernard Fine, who was the creator of Hogan's Heroes, and you see Spielberg talking to him. He's like, "Come here, I want to introduce you to someone." He invites him to meet John Ford, the prolific filmmaker and one of the greatest filmmakers of our time, one of the greatest directors of our time. The Grapes of Wrath, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Searchers, known for winning 4 Oscars as director, which is still a record still to this day and has not been matched or beaten. And John Ford is just right there. And the aspect of that scene is just mesmerizing. And David Lynch plays John Ford. What better director to play John Ford than David Lynch? Like seeing Spielberg get David Lynch and then David Lynch is in a Spielberg movie. So good. And the aspect of trying to pointers on the framing. Where's the horizon? It's at the bottom. Where's the horizon? It's at the top. And then John Ford's like, if the horizon's at the bottom, it's interesting. If the horizon's at the top, it's interesting. If it's in the middle, it's boring. So, I mean, if you're a filmmaker, that just stays with you, absolutely. And for Spielberg to meet John Ford changed his life. It's like me going to Universal and meeting Steven Spielberg. That would be insane. You would be like, what should I do now? The aspect, even how Judd Hirsch, kind of pushed Sammy to the aspect of how he was the uncle and he's Boris, Sammy's grand uncle, and a former film worker and circus lion tamer. But the aspect of what he did was great. I mean, Judd Hirsch being nominated for an Oscar for just the short amount of screen time, it's brilliant. Some of your best work from actors are in short screen time moments. This film was absolutely exceptional. I was blown away by it. The only thing is that I wasn't a fan of Seth Rogen as Uncle Benny. I feel like I'm still in that Seth Rogen comedy phase a little bit. I know he's trying to go into dramatic acting, but seeing Seth Rogen in a Steven Spielberg film was really, really good. Paul Dano is established as a great actor, as is Michelle Williams, and I feel like Gabriel LaBelle as Sammy Fabelman is going to be a really, really prominent star, and he needs to do more films for sure as an actor because he's just great. And like I said, I'm upset because I didn't get this chance to see this film when it came out, and I should have. Seeing it on the big screen would have been really, really fun and great. But I waited and I saw it on Paramount Plus, which is even better. You just sit in the comfort of your own home watching it. You are glued to the screen when you see the Fabelmans, and that ending, it's just great. And you understand, if you see certain interviews with Steven Spielberg, then you understand what he means in certain ways of how things are. The aspect of the bullying is there, being Jewish, the Christian, and the anti-Semitism is really front and center. And, Spielberg never shies away from that, which is really, really good. And you shouldn't shy away from things like that at all because it happened. You can't not say it happened because then you just forget. No, it happened. And it's still happening to this day. And it happened back then. It's happening wherever you go, wherever you are. It's not going to go away. And Spielberg touching base on that, and then the writing aspect with Tony Kushner is just phenomenal and great. I mean, Tony Kushner has done amazing stuff. Even he's written Munich, and which I feel like is the most underrated Steven Spielberg film, and a third Oscar should have went to him, but we'll hold that aside. It's just great. The dialogue is great. The aspect is great. There are funny moments. There are really, really dramatic moments, emotional moments, but it's so good that, I mean, it's no wonder it's one of the top 10 films of 2022, and it's one of the big films of Steven Spielberg's career because it's a semi-autobiographical film about his life. What other director can you say did that and they made their own film through their own memory and mind and just absolutely knocked it out of the ballpark for the home run? I had an amazing time watching this. I love coming of age films, coming of age drama films. They're so good, but there's not many in Hollywood who do coming of age films. But with this, hopefully this revives that genre, and it's actually gets the train going a little bit to see what happens with this genre, because coming of age films are really underrated, and they show an aspect of growth, linear growth, and how you go through certain things in your life to meet that end, and you have that beginning, middle, and end where something happens and you have to fix it, and when you fix it, something else happens, and can you get out of that? The writing is exceptional, the direction is exceptional, the cinematography is fantastic. I love this movie so much. For me, The Fabelmans, or excuse me, Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The Fabelmans, directed by Steven Spielberg. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the coming-of-age story? Did you like it that it was a semi-autobiographical film about Steven Spielberg? And what scenes were your favorite? What were your least favorite scenes? And what is going to stay with you? And do you think we need more coming-of-age films in Hollywood? If so, what kind? And did you like how the camera movement was done in this? And do you think that this film should have been awarded to Steven Spielberg for Best Director or Best Picture? If not, what other film do you think Spielberg should have got his third directing Oscar for? Let me know in the comment section below about all of the questions I just asked, and also let me know what rating you would give The Fabelmans. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new film reviews on my channel. I'll see you all in the next review video, and thank you so much for tuning in.